Hey guys, this is Megan with Obscene Plant Scene. Welcome back. I am doing my every few days rearrange of my caladiums out front. I rotate them so that the leaves don't all go honk and they go up. And I was just gonna do this and listen to like a podcast or watch a YouTube video or something, but I was looking at Facebook this morning and saw a post that had me thinking, gave me thoughts, and I thought that I would share my thoughts with you guys. Yeah, so just ignore what I'm actually doing, and if you could give me your thoughts in the comments below on the topic that is the title of this video. So, a little bit of backstory. I'm in a couple of Facebook groups where, people, basically I use Facebook only for plant stuff. Buy plants, sell plants. I'm in the plantee pages up there, looking for advice, and like I'm in specific subset groups for carnivorous plants and certain ones for lithops, because I love lithops too. So since I've been doing a lot more content and having a lot more conversations around caladiums, I've been looking into the Thai caladiums that are like imports and things like that, because I've always been nervous about doing imports. I've done it a few times, mostly for like really hardy plants like snake plants, and it's been a fine experience, but I've heard horror stories with Hoya and monstera and what have you, so leaving that to the professionals. In the meantime, I was like, well, caladiums grow from bulbs. It's probably easy to import caladium bulbs, right? So I joined this caladium group on Facebook. I promise there's a point to the story. I joined this caladium group on Facebook, and I'm, bebopping through the comments and the posts, and I'm looking at everything. And one thing that I notice... Okay, continue. From being rudely interrupted by the planes and jets and shit. Anyways, so I'm in this group, I'm reading through the post and, doing my best to look at the different things that people are posting. There's hundreds of different varieties of caladium, so I'm also in the group so I can try to gain more knowledge. I love learning. That's one of the reasons why I love plants so much, is just the knowledge that you get is immeasurable. Like, you can never, ever stop learning about plants. People who've been in it for decades learn about new genus all the time. So anyways, so I'm in this group, and I noticed that there's a few folks who post daily, like, look at this pretty caladium I found photos. Now, some of them are your, ones that I have, ones that I've seen, but maybe not purchased or not had the ability to purchase. And then some of them are caladiums that I've noticed don't fucking exist. And I don't mean like, oh, this is somebody who took a photo of a pink one and made it orange. No, these are caladiums that are like blue. These are caladiums that are shaped like butterflies. They don't exist because they are AI. Just to make it very abundantly clear, I do not like AI and the use that it's had in the negative impacts that it's had on the plant community. I'm trying to think about the way that I want to say this so that it's not just completely negative, but it's hard to say anything positive. The negative outweighs the positive when it comes to using AI in the plant community. What I have seen on, we'll say specifically Etsy, the most is shops using AI to generate images of plants that do not exist, that in another reality would be beautiful and would be so cool. Like the photos that I've seen of caladiums, colocasias, hostas that are blue, which, by the way, there are no naturally blue plants, period. plants that are blue, plants that are like hot orange, and I'm not talking like Prince of Orange. I'm not talking like trying to think if I have any plants that are even like remotely orange other than Prince of Orange philodendron. I can't think of any, but not like orange plants. I'm talking like highlighter orange hostas. Don't exist. There were pictures of, I'm trying to think about some of the other ones. Pink monstera, that's another big one that's been going around. I'm talking fully pink leaved monsteras. Those don't exist, y'all. Now I have seen little bits of photos of possible pink mutated monsteras coming from overseas. I cannot remember which country, so I'm not even gonna speculate which one, but I have seen photos that look legitimate of pink monsteras, but these are not plants that you can get in the US. These are not plants that you can get readily available, and they're definitely not plants that cost like $10. So at first point of all of this is to say, if you see a plant online in general, whether it be on Etsy, on eBay, on Facebook, on any of these sites where people post photos of plants, Instagram, Twitter, X, Z, Zitter, whatever the fuck you want to call it, report them. It's just spreading misinformation, false information. It's not real, and it preys upon people who are highly susceptible to things on the internet because they didn't grow up with the internet. And it's people who genuinely just don't know, or people who are newer to the hobby and don't know. Like, I learn about new plants all the time. So, and I've been in the plant hobby for 5 or 6 years now. So, like, people who've been in for decades are also still in the realm of like learning. But some of the things that I see online on Etsy are wild. So you've got these plants that are all these different colors. That's one like category of issue that I have. Another one is plants that are massive. I'm not talking about plants that are like, they have big leaves, or plants that are like, you know, a golden pothos with 12-foot vines. Like, I've had one of those. No, but they exist, right? I'm talking about hostas that are like the size of a house. Not a dog house, a real fucking full-size building house, 2,000 square foot house. Don't exist. Pictures of people standing next to elephant ears that are massive, taller than they are, and they're like big men looking in the pictures, the photos. These don't exist, y'all. They are not real. Any picture that you see, also, and this is like as a tip to help y'all spot these, if you're not sure if it's AI, you know, instead of, by the way, running a photo, quick tangent, running a photo through software or a document through software to tell you if it's AI is using AI to tell you if it's AI. I'm just gonna let you sit on that for a minute. Anyways, so one of the ways that you can tell if something is fake or AI is if every single leaf is perfect. I'm not talking about like, I'm talking pristine. No yellowing, no browning, and these are outside plants. No yellowing, no browning, no crisping, no dying leaves at the bottom. There's no color variation at all. Every single leaf looks exactly the same and perfect. That doesn't fucking exist, y'all. Stop kidding yourselves. Like, just stop. Gigantic plants like that don't grow here. They don't grow anywhere because they're not fucking real. But even like the massive leaves that you see on some plants, like a monstera, yeah, you can get deliciosa leaves that are 3 or 4 feet long. Yes, you can get Milano chrysum and splendid and gigas leaves that are feet long. You're not gonna get a hosta or an elephant ear that's 8 feet tall. One leaf. No, it doesn't work like that. So that's another issue that I have at the moment. Another one that, and I think this is the main one that has been pissing me off of late, because I do a lot of plant shopping on Etsy. Not even shopping, like physical shopping, but like window shopping. So many things in my Etsy cart. I have so many things favorited, things that I want to look back at, things that I want to look into. It's like my shopping cart on Etsy and my favorites list on Etsy may not be things that I want, but maybe things that I want to look into. Maybe things that I want to show someone. Like, hey, have you ever seen this before? Hey, did you know that this is a thing? Or, hey, I can't get this plant, or I have no interest in this plant, but I have heard that you do. Here's where you can maybe get one. I only send recommendations also from shops that I've personally shopped for multiple times and have good experiences with. And I'll do a separate, I want to do a video on Etsy shops that I've had good experiences with and ones that I have not. Looking at you, Sunshine Greens. Not to name names, but naming the fucking names. Anyways, so one other thing that, or the other big thing that I want to talk about is things that are too good to be true. Y'all, if you think that you've hit the jackpot, Susan, because you found a monstera albo with 4 leaves online that's $20 with free shipping, that's 3 feet tall, I'm gonna tell you now, no, you didn't, Susan. You got fucking scammed. They're not gonna send you a plant. They may, I've seen some people get scammed by sites like this, and they get bags of fucking seeds. Don't buy seeds like that. Monstera seeds? No, monstera seeds are like massive. They are not, they almost look like pepita seeds, or like pumpkin seeds. They don't look like grass seeds. They don't look like teeny tiny, like smaller than, like they don't look like this. No. Anyways, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Now, I do believe that there is a line to be walked between, eternal pessimism and extreme optimism. You can be optimistic about shops, and if they don't have a lot of purchases or don't have a lot of views, I've definitely gone out of my way to shop on Etsy from small shops that have less than 100 sales, because I am a small shop and I want to support other businesses trying to get off the ground. But do your research, read the reviews, look on Reddit. I mean, look up the shop. And when you read the reviews, don't just read them. If it's like 6 reviews back to back to back that are like, I received my perfect plant, it was just as pictured, thank you, Jill. I received a perfect plant, it was just as pictured, thank you, Jill. It's probably a bot, so keep that in mind. But just do your research, y'all. Don't get scammed into thinking that you got a pink monstera node for $5. You're not that lucky. It doesn't work like that. Don't get yourself scammed. If you're not sure if it seems too good to be true, add it to cart and wait. I can promise you that if you add it to cart and then wait a couple of weeks, either the item is going to be unavailable or the shop is going to have dis-a-fucking-peared. Now, I took some screenshots of, which I've been posting up regularly throughout this video, of the examples of things that I have seen on Etsy that are absolutely wild, that fall into these categories of plants that are not real, that are AI. And the main thing that I would like to say is, from a independent plant seller, I think that it is plum ass ridiculous that multi-billion-dollar shops, platforms like Etsy, can continue to maintain a platform that allows and houses these businesses and does not remove them immediately. If you can put something into Google to tell you if it's AI generated, I'm sure Etsy has the programs, the people to filter through and see what shops are actually putting up. And you can't tell me that it's too many. You can't tell me that there's not a way to do it. I'm gonna call you a liar. There's got to be a way to like police this better. The AI slop that has been proliferating the internet at the rate that it has is honestly sad. It really is. I am someone who will always shop small. I will always support a small business. I will always support artists, especially. I bought quite a few things off of Etsy that are like artsy, like different things to put up on my walls that are drawings that people have done that I know are not AI generated. Every year I get my kids new stockings for Christmas from an Etsy shop because their interests change every year, so that's one of their Christmas presents is getting new stockings. It's just try to have, and it's going to be different for everybody, but try to have a healthy sense of pessimism, of, you know, just try to watch yourself. Don't be so naive to think that you of all people got the deal of a lifetime on a 8-foot tall monstera, pink monster deliciosa devil sore that nobody has ever seen for $100 even. Now, know the market, I guess, is what one big thing that I would say is know the market. Like, as at present, the monstera devil monster is like the new hot topic. People have kind of moved on from Bulbasaur and White Monster and Mint. People have moved on from Mint because you can buy it in big box stores now. White Monster and Mint, I don't even want to get into that fucking conversation. The Monstera Bulbasaurs, people are kind of moving on from because you can get them a lot more readily available now. But the Monstera Devil Monster is like the new kid on the block at present. Now, right now, in my area and what I have seen online, even getting a rooted cutting or a small TC of a devil monster, the cheapest that I've seen for even TCs that have like 2 or 3 leaves, is still triple digits. You're still talking like 120 is a steal of a deal if you can get it 120 and you pay shipping. So if you think that you hit the jackpot because you got a $20 devil monster with 4 leaves, I'm gonna tell you now that's a fucking lie. Also, if you look at a shop and you're like, oh, that photo looks very familiar, it looks like the same picture that this other shop had and this other shop, all AI, all fake, all pirated photos probably, that aren't real, that aren't plants that you're actually going to be buying because they belong to somebody else. They don't belong to that person or that shop that stole the image. So I don't mean to make this like a poo-poo on everything kind of video, but just seeing that those couple of photos on Facebook over the last few days of people posting images of plants that don't exist, and caladiums specifically, that nobody has and nobody's ever seen before because it's not real, has just really just really grinds my gears, y'all. It just really pisses me off because I know that as someone new to the community years and years ago, that I luckily had people in the community who gave me tips and like helped me see through the bullshit of things like that were fake, and kind of helped guide me in the direction of what good shops are and where I can find reputable sellers. So yeah, just a silly thing for you guys to think about is do your research, check more than one source for plants, please. Don't let the AI get you guys, because it's getting so many people. It's getting people with political information. It's been getting people for decades with, false news on people dying and what have you. Just be careful out there. And Etsy, do fucking better. We expect more from a multi-billion-dollar platform. I'm sure that you can handle it. Yeah. So if you guys have any recommendations of good Etsy shops to go to, Etsy shops that you've had positive experiences with, buyers online in general, shops that you've had good experiences with, drop them in the comments below. I love to share small businesses, and let's steer people away as a community from all the fake bullshit. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.